Last time we looked at WCW NWO Thunder for the PlayStation, which featured some pretty accurate stage and ring designs, well, for the most part, and while WCW Mayhem would both play better and look better, we would see the opposite here. What do I mean, you ask? Well, take a look. That's not a real-life Fall Brawl stage design. In the complete history of the event, it was never used, not once. I'm sure they have their reasons for this. I mean, since the game is in development before the current year's events take place, they have two options: include the previous year's event designs, or make their own up from scratch, which is what we see a lot of here. So let's dive into the selection as we compare these arenas featured in the game to their real-life counterparts. First off, we aren't even going to bother comparing them to the real-life 99 sets and rings because they didn't include any of those designs here other than Nitro. We barely see the 99 WCW logo in the game anywhere, so it's clearly apparent that 1999 just wasn't really a target for them design-wise. Anything that was accurate was seemingly referenced from 1998. So let's start off with what they got right. So clearly development started early enough that they included the classic Nitro design, which really does look good here. We've only seen this design in two other games at this point in time, those being WCW Nitro and WCW NWO Revenge, which is sad because it's such an iconic set. The biggest issue here are the diamond plate WCW logos. They are really rounded off here, looking more like inflatable props or something. Also, Nitro was pretty inconsistent during this design with their screen placements. Sometimes there was a screen to the left, sometimes to the right, or even none at all. It was all dependent on the venue, really. But I can't recall a time where there were ever two screens like they included here. I would have liked to see the Nitro plaque in the entry area, but we will see that due to entrances and the backstage access featured in the game, these areas are left open for every stage design in the game. But overall, this really nails the feel in my opinion. Good job. As for the ring, we'll see that every ring features the same logo placements for each event, with one large logo on the canvas and one small logo in the middle of the ring skirt. This automatically eliminates the skirts here from being accurate, as the actual Nitro ring featured part of the Nitro logo repeated 3 times on each side of the ring. The canvas looks good here, but the ropes should be black and the turnbuckle pads should be red, so they flipped the design. But regardless, it still looks pretty good, and the casual fan would probably not notice the changes. For the second quarter of '99, WCW would overhaul their image, including a new logo and set design for Nitro. This design made it into the game, and to this day has never been officially included in any other licensed wrestling title. This one is pretty simple, so it would have been harder not to get it right. However, they added the 2 screens to the classic Nitro set that didn't belong, but here they didn't include them, and yet they appear in the real-life design. The ring is pretty much identical to the other Nitro ring in the game, only with the updated logos appearing here. The rope and turnbuckle pad colors are still incorrect, and the ring skirts are obviously the wrong color. They would become black towards the end of 1999, but that was after the game was released. Dare I say the in-game version looks better than what they had in real life at the time? The Thunder stage here is alright. Again, they duplicated the video screen. In fact, the entire set just sort of looks mirrored down the center. They got the basic look and feel down, so we gotta give them some credit, but I honestly feel it looked better in WCW NWO Thunder. The ring skirts here should be gray, and the ring canvas was usually left blank until later in '99. Here's another one based on the real design, and it's pretty close. It's not quite as tall as its real-life counterpart, and they added these WCW logos at the entry area. I guess the standard here for each stage is that they're required to have 2 video screens, because we see that here as well, even though it wasn't part of the real design. Saturday Night was actually one of the last WCW events to still use the WCW Bullseye design, but unfortunately that didn't make the game. Instead, we see the basic, generic look comprised of large mat logo, small apron logo, and purple ropes here for some reason. Or maybe they're blue. I don't know, apparently I'm colorblind. Bizash at the Bizich. One of my favorite pay-per-view themes of all time, and they actually included a true-to-life design here. I have to say this one is actually pretty close. It's just a shame to see a giant hole cut into that event logo. We see the dual screens, some beach props, sand, and even the dock-like aisle leading to the ring, which is pretty sweet. The ring, however, is all wrong. But hey, I mean, they're all wrong in this game, so it is what it is. Starcade looks pretty good here. I mean, the dimensions are a bit off, but they got the overall design down. Again, it feels a bit lacking without the event logo featured as the centerpiece, but they did add the logo to the floor of the stage, maybe to make up for it. The ring design here is a bit closer than some of the others, but again we see these purplish ropes for some reason. This one is close, but it's missing the backdrop, which really takes away from the overall presentation. I mean, even Thunder included the backdrop for this set. The color isn't accurate, but the haystacks are here, the screens are present, and we see the old Spring Stampede logo from 1997. This logo carries over to the ring area, and while not accurate, it does have a nice look with the red ropes. They attempted to recreate the 1998 stage for Halloween Havoc, but it just doesn't translate here. They included the giant gargoyle and pumpkin from the entryway, but they both appear as flat objects here, which really takes away from the depth that the original stage had. It also feels extremely small in comparison. The dual screens and headstones are here, but overall, this one is definitely a miss in my opinion. The ring is pretty close here. We see the logo on the mat and black ropes, posts, and pads. Alright, now before we get started with the original creations, I want to point out that the game is called WCW Mayhem, yet there isn't a Mayhem arena in the game. Now I know the event took place after the game's release, but if they're gonna create all these custom original sets anyway, why not make one for the event that the game is named after? There is this arena, which displays in the background of the main menu, and it appears to be the Mayhem Arena, but it's not playable. What's even more interesting is the fact that it's really just the classic Nitro Arena with the updated WCW logos, which now that I think about it would have been a cool look over the giant logo stage we would get in '99. Another thing to note is that we barely see the WCW logo appear in the game. It's actually been removed from a lot of the event logos, which I'm assuming is based on the fact that they were in the midst of transitioning from the old one to the new one. Anyway, I just found this all very odd. So moving on to the original creations, we take a look at Sold Out. This one is interesting. I think it's supposed to be hell or something. There's fire and gargoyle-like creatures perched on the video screens. I mean, this is nothing like anything we've previously seen for the event. In the ring, however, it's a pretty basic design featuring the event logo minus the WCW branding, and those purplish ropes appear here as well. This one's pretty cool. We see a cityscape in the background with an overall urban design here with rusted out barrels as props and a worn looking stage surface. This would have been cool to see as a real-life WCW design. In the ring, we see the uncensored logo appear with an overall simple design scheme. This one is too sweet and should have seriously been used for a real-life design. Super Brawl was known for taking place in the Bay Area during the late 90s, which is the home of the infamous Alcatraz prison. So a stage designed to look like a maximum security prison fits the event perfectly. I like how the wrestlers actually enter the arena through cell doors. Yes, the real life design was great, but I really dig this theming. Dig it. And the ring looks good too, with the ropes and the event logo both appearing in red. This one is a little simple and smaller compared to others, but it conveys the theming. I mean, what's more American than an eagle? The stars on the stage are a nice touch. And the ring looks great in my opinion. I know the red, white, and blue ropes were a WWF trademark for many years, but it really fits the theming here. This one is interesting. We see these comic book style graphics around the stage with a giant fist prop at the entry area. Not really sure how I feel about this one. It's a little awkward. And the ring features the purple Slamboree logo with purple ropes, which doesn't quite go with the red and yellow stage design. I don't know, it just looks out of place. A Road Wild event indoors? Even Thunder took us outside for this one. And we actually see the new WCW logo appear for this one, which we don't see too often in these designs. I do appreciate that they included the road-like aisle to the ring. That's a Road Wild staple. And speaking of the ring, we see the event logo appearing with red ropes. This design is unique, featuring what to me looks like maybe Vegas-style theming, with palm trees in the backdrop, red carpet, and casino-looking designs at the entry area. I actually like the way the bright yellow and green event logo pops with all of the red here. And this color scheme continues into the ring as well, where the red ropes look a little out of place, but they do help tie in the design with the stage area. Last but certainly not least, we have World War III. This design looks like some sort of nuclear plant or something, which is clever given the name of the event. It kind of reminds me of the WCW Saturday Night design. Overall, the colors blend nicely here and nothing clashes, and it's a good sized design. This carries over to the ring where the red ropes complement the event logo nicely. Well, folks, there you have it. Those original creations really were unique and isn't something commonly seen in wrestling games other than those not based on realism. What do you guys think of the designs? And how do you think they did on recreating the original designs? This would be the only WCW game from EA to feature stage designs, and I wish we could have seen what they had in store for the PS2. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you back here for the next one.